Welcome to the West Hills Unitarian Universalist Fellowship for our Sunday services. I am the Reverend Tracy Springberry. I use the pronouns she and her, and it is my great joy to serve this loving congregation. Today we gather to listen to music and sing and let our spirits rise. Whoever you are, whoever you love, and however you are, at peace or in pain, you are welcome into this spacious time. Please join us for coffee hour on Zoom at 11:30. This is a really important way that we stay connected with each other while we shelter at home. We share joys and sorrows, and we check in with each other. The link is in your order of service. We always welcome visitors to our services, and if you would like to receive our email or be more active in what is now a virtual community, please email our administrator. WHUUF has so many ways to stay connected during this time. Please check the announcements that came in your email and the e-blast that comes every week to see how you can be connected in this community.
We light this chalice on the shorelines of life, gathered as one at thresholds unknown, surrendering to the mystery and blessing that surely awaits as we dispel fear and call forth love, light, and peace, crossing over the threshold together as one.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Bowling. My pronouns are he and his, and I am the director of the WHUUF Choristers. Today, we present to you our annual spring music service. Though we are sad not to be in the sanctuary with you this morning, we are excited to share recordings of some of our favorite pieces from the last 3 years, with introductions and reflections from members of the group. This is my first year at WHUUF, and I follow an esteemed line of directors dating back to 1983, when Ruth Emery invited people to come make a joyful noise. Over the course of 11 years, she grew the choir, established the monthly Chorister performance and biannual music services, and inspired the congregation to really sing those hymns. Longtime choristers Ralph Parsons and Marty Deere have also taken their turns as directors, and in 1998, Allison King-Wilski became the first paid director and held the post until 2005. Most of you will remember our previous director of 7 years, Melanie Madigan, and several of the recordings you will hear today were under her direction. Though we haven't been able to rehearse together, the choristers continue to meet on Zoom each week and have been active making recordings like the 4-part Spirit of Life you just heard. They would like you to know that we are still here as a music community, that we miss you terribly, and we can't wait for the day when we can share our songs with you in person on Sunday mornings. Until then, we will continue our spiritual practice of making music whichever way possible, looking after one another, and serving this congregation as best we can. Now, please sing along with this gospel arrangement of Now Let Us Sing. Lift up your voice, be not afraid. Let us sing to the power of the love within. Three.
Now let us sing to the power of love. Sing, sing, now let us sing to the power of love. Sing, sing, lift up your voice. Sing, sing to the power of love. You got to sing to the power of love within. Don't you know you gotta sing to the power of the love within. Lift up your voice, oh no, don't be afraid. Oh, don't you know you gotta sing to the power of love. Sing to the
life and love, who goes by many names and makes life possible. Please help us. Commerce is opening across Oregon. Do we cross our threshold, step out our doors? Do we share space with others? Help us as we decide what we will do, where we will go, what is safe and what isn't. Remind us to be compassionate to ourselves. Remind us we don't have to do this perfectly. This is not a contest to see who will set up the perfect homeschool program and who learned Spanish, wrote poetry, and did yoga every day. It is not a contest to see if you can endure suffering and hardship and come out with a better character. If all you can do is breathe and eat, you are enough. Remind us to be compassionate to others. People are hurting. People are not their best selves. Hold them gently and let us forgive easily. Remind us to offer daily gratitude and compassion for all who work to make our lives well. the farmers and farm workers, the grocery store staff, the pharmacists, the cooks, the delivery drivers, the fast food workers, the warehouse employees, the nurses, the doctors, and so many others. Remind us especially to hold in our hearts those who work in dangerous conditions for little pay, so that we may eat and buy the things we want. Remind us that we are all loved by the force that gave us life. We are worthy. We are enough. And so is everyone else. I'd like you to take a moment and say aloud the names of the people who are especially in your heart today. And now we will have a moment of extended silence for prayer, reflection, or meditation, as is your tradition.
The river is flowing, flowing and growing. The river is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea.
I'm Karen Stratton, and I've been a member of the Choristers for the last 2 years. Do Not Leave Your Cares at the Door was composed by Elizabeth Alexander, a contemporary Unitarian Universalist. She wrote the tune and adapted the words from a call to worship written by Norman Naylor, a UU minister who died in 2004. Here are his words. Do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave there your pain, your sorrow, or your joys. Bring them with you into this place of acceptance and forgiveness. Place them on the common altar of life and offer them to the possibility of your worship. Come then and offer yourself to potential transformation by the creative process that flows through you and all life. Amen. In this time of uncertainty, we all bring cares into this community. Don't leave them at the door. Bring them into our relationships and our care. This is how we will transform ourselves and our world. Please enjoy the Choristers' rendition of this gospel-inspired piece now.
Do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave them there when you come into this place. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. Bring your pain and sorrow and joy. There's a place for them upon the altar of life. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. Amen. Amen. Amen.
I'm Don Merrick. I joined the Choristers in 1997. It is my pleasure to introduce the Choristers' version of the song, You Are the New Day. We recycle it into our performances every year or two. Both the lyrics and the music were composed in 1978 by John David, a Welsh rock musician. At a time of personal despair, he needed a song that would give him hope. The arrival of a new day inspired that hope. It has become a popular choral song, especially this arrangement by Peter Knight for SATB. I find the melody to be exuberant and pleasant to my ears. The dynamics are exceptional, soft at the beginning of the many verses, and then louder and acclaiming a new day. My hope is that you will enjoy this song as much as I do.
You are the new day.
When I first sang the music to O Say Shalom, it felt like my heart burst wide open. I'm going to be sharing a couple quotes that will hopefully explain what music meant to me and that experience. Song makes it possible to speak and to pray in the same word at the same time. The burden of our song goes far beyond all human words. And this is a quote by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. The second quote is from Plato. Rhythm and harmony find their way into the secret places of the soul. It gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, a charm to sadness, gaiety and life to everything. It is the essence of order and leads to all that is good, just, and beautiful, of which it is the invisible, but nevertheless dazzling, passionate, and eternal.
Hi, I'm Ralph Parsons. I've been singing with the Choristers for about 25 years. This song, I'm Building Me a Home, is an African American song often sung in call and response while working together. In the words of the song, praying, moaning, and shouting are ways of handling grief and pain in community. However, the big problems we are facing now, the sickness of ourselves and our world, require more. To solve these problems, we need to change our ways of living for the sake of our future and for the future of the planet. I've worked on reducing my own footprint on the environment, but building a home for the future requires that we work in community and with other societies to create sustainable ways of living. All of us need to control energy use and population, the food we eat, acquisition of materials, land use, and water use. We need to stop destroying the habitats of plants and animals. We need to foster a healthy environment. This is what building a home means to me.
I'm building me a home. 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 This earthly house is gonna soon decay, and my soul gotta have somewhere to stay. When you hear me moaning, I'm building me a home. When you hear me moaning, I'm building me a home. When you hear me praying, I'm building me a home. When you hear me praying, I'm building me a home. This earthly house is gonna soon decay, and my soul gonna have somewhere to stay. When you hear me shouting, I'm building me a home. When you hear me shouting, I'm building me a home. This earthly house is gonna soon decay, and my soul gotta have somewhere to stay. When you hear me moaning, I'm building me a home. When you hear me praying, I'm building me a home. When you hear me shouting, I'm building me a home. This earthly house is gonna soon decay, and my
Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around is a great song because it's an African American spiritual, which is an exciting tempo, and it has a sense of building from a sort of a walking pace to a high note. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching down to freedom land. It tells a story anyone can relate to about how you have to keep on working, you have to keep on walking to get to where you're going. It's a wonderful story, and it has the inspiration of the Black civil rights movement behind it.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching up to freedom land, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, keep on marching up to freedom land, marching up to freedom land. There are words like freedom, sweet and wonderful to say. All my heartstrings freedom sings, all day, every day. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on singing, keep on shouting, keep on marching up to freedom land, marching up to freedom land. There are words like liberty that almost made me cry. If you had known what I know, you would know why. I cannot turn around, no. 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 I Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, keep on singing, keep on shouting, keep on marching up to freedom land, marching up to freedom land.
Each of us has a circle of friends, a number of people that are acceptable, important, and even dear to us, bounded by an invisible line of inclusion. That circumference is also a line of exclusion that defines those who are not acceptable to us, those whom we suspect, disagree with, ignore, overlook, or fear, sometimes at the subconscious level. The next joyful anthem invites us to expand that invisible but very real circle, to include a much wider range of people. It asks us to include in our concern and acceptance people of different race, political views, or religious beliefs, regardless of socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, or disabilities, and Just when we think that we have enlarged the circle to the fullest possible extent, it asks us to expand it further, wider still, so that no one is excluded or left alone.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll be side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide, draw it wider still. Let this be our song. No one stands alone, standing side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide.
As we prepare to gratefully give and receive our offering, we are reminded that love is the currency of our community. It was love that built the fires that we are warmed by, and love that planted the mighty trees that shade us. It is because of the dedication of those that came before us that WHUUF exists today. And it is the commitment of our members and friends in the present time that will carry us forward into the future. At this time in the service, when we are together in our sanctuary, baskets are passed from hand to hand. Now our baskets are electronic, and you can make your offering by following the instructions on your screen. We are grateful for whatever gifts you may offer, whether they fit into the basket or not. Once each month, in 3-month blocks, we donate the proceeds of our offering to a cause that fits with our mission to bloom in service to the wider world. Our Donate the Basket recipient for the months of May, June, and July is the Northwest Classical Theater Collaborative. At the forefront of their mission is a commitment to serve those who have traditionally been deprived of cultural opportunities by providing quality classical theatrical performances in venues such as prisons, halfway houses, homeless shelters, and schools, as well as traditional theater spaces. Last year, actor Paul Soucy and cellist Anna Fritz toured Oregon's prisons with An Iliad, a modern retelling of Homer's classic tale. At a Sunday service in September, they shared their thoughts and insights about crossing the walls and reaching a deeper understanding of our shared humanity. You can learn more about the Northwest Classical Theater Collaborative and about Anna and Paul's experience at WHUUF via the links posted on the screen. As the offering is being received, it is our tradition to recite together an affirmation of gratitude and giving. The words are on your screen. Please join me now. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for all those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
Our benediction is by the Reverend Andrew Pakula. As you prepare to leave this sacred space, pack away a piece of this church in your heart. Wrap it carefully like a precious gem, and carry it with you through the joys and sorrows of your days. Let its gentle glow strengthen you, warm you, and remind you of all that is good and true until we gather together again in love. I extinguish this flame, but not the warmth and inspiration of our faith, nor our commitment to its principles. These we will carry with us until we meet again.
Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until